Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monte and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monte and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at monteandthepharaoh.com. We know what you're thinking. Did they fire off 6 fascinating points of interest or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the excitement of watching and listening to Long Island's #1 wrestling podcast, I've actually forgotten myself. But being this is the Monte and the Pharaoh from Indie Music Studios in Ronkonkoma, and the fact that they were talking to yet another champion wrestling star, one of the most powerful and talented performers from the wrestling franchise, and not to forget well-informed and provocative interview questions asked and answered. It was such an interesting and entertaining hour, the questions nearly blew your head clean off. Now you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Do ya, punk?
What? Yeah. No, I'm behaving myself. No, I'm not playing in abandoned buildings. What? Again? Now. I suppose you had those people follow me again. Fine. Hey, this is Jimmy Farrow from Monte and the Pharaoh, and I want to thank all our subscribers. We have now passed 14,000 on our YouTube channel. But I want to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged member of Monte and the Pharaoh. Yeah, that's right, folks. There's 3 different levels to choose from. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. Just check it out and become a member of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. Later.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, scene here out of Indie Music TV. At the board, we have a double producer in-house. If anybody remembers from last week, our super producer, Matt. This will be his last show. Matty, how are you, buddy? No Mike?
Howdy. It's going great.
Howdy. We're going to miss you, brother. All you've done for the show.
Yeah, I'm going to miss the show, too. It was a great ride and experience for almost 2 years now, as Farrell pointed out to me earlier, and it's definitely gonna stick out in my memory. It's a very good time.
Well, same here, man, and we really appreciate all you've done for us and for everybody out there. And then also filling in and will be the new producer, Jeff Rumplick. Jeff, we know for a while. He's our graphic artist, and he's also a producer, and he's going to fill in and be the new producer of the Monte and the Pharaoh show. So, Jeff, you wanted to introduce yourself to the audience. I couldn't spit that out.
Easy for him to say.
Hopefully I can speak clearer than you can.
Oh, he's starting already. The new producer's your wise ass. Very interesting. How you doing over there, Jeff? I grew a beard waiting for you, but that's okay. If you want to begin there, we can begin there. Jeff's very talented. By the way, Jeff is very talented, folks, and we like to trade barbs, but it's all good.
Jimmy,
how you doing there, brother?
Maria Davis says, Maddie, she misses you.
Already.
Look at this. He's not even out of the room yet, Jeff.
Maria, I'll miss you, too. Those always great comments left by you. Always love reading from you guys.
And, Jeff, we got to have a really good show because Chris Stevens announced at the beginning of the show he had a really bad week, and he's looking to get that past him. So he's the MMP show, get him past that. So can you
handle that, I think.
Can we? All right, good stuff.
Yeah, no pressure. No problem.
All right, anyway. Great show last week, Jumping Jim Brunzell.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Love Jim.
There's a book.
There it is, and we're keeping those far away from my cats.
Keep them far away from your cats.
That's right.
Great read. Go. Where's he? Where's it?
I don't know where he's got this available. That's your job. What are you talking about? I barely watch TV and computers.
So probably get it at Amazon, but you know what?
Most likely.
Maybe I'll know better. But Jim was fantastic, and one thing I can't get over again is Jim is 73 years old. He said,
yeah,
and he looked like he's 40.
72.
He looked like he was 40.
Yeah, he looked a lot younger than his age. So he's looking good, sounding good. You know, great guest.
All right, so
what do you got? You got something silly for me?
No, the Biden administration endorses transgender youth sex change operations, top surgery, and hormone therapy. President Biden's administration has released a series of documents encouraging gender reassignment surgery and hormone treatments to minors. What do you think, pal?
What do you mean encouraging?
Go
get this done. What do you mean encouraging?
That's great.
You know, as far as a guy who believes in the law of natural order, I think this is nonsense. What do you want from me? And don't get mad at me either, because it's my opinion. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to freaking come to your yard and get mad, so leave me alone. But I think it's nonsense. What do you mean encouraging?
Rick, definitely check out Brunzell's book.
We go from Jim Brunzell to this.
Go! Go, get one! Get a sex change!
It's one little snippy. You can come up with like a song and stuff, you know?
Can do it!
You can do it!
Oh, man, this country, boy.
Yeah, we're fucked.
All right, big news of the week. Everybody knows on Hollywood's biggest night, as he presented the award, the best documentary feature, he made a joke. We're talking about Chris Rock made a joke
we're talking about
Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Mm-hmm. Jada G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. And I guess Will got upset. And he decided to lay a slap on Chris Rock.
Work! Let's have at it. Go ahead, tell me how real it was. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The funniest part is after he hits him, he's walking back. Look at his face. And then when he's sitting down in a chair, oh, Jimmy's effing bringing my wife to... Look at his wife. She's not taking this shit seriously. Everybody stop. Just stop.
PJ brings up a good point on the last subject. He says, do whatever you want, but don't make me pay for it. He's right. But you will, PJ. Trust me.
Isn't that the bummer?
All right, dude. At first, I thought it was a work, too. I thought it was a work.
Just stop.
But I really... Okay. There's a couple real bad problems here, though. All right?
Yeah.
First of all, when does a man feel that they have the right to put their hands on another man?
Well,
see, there's women out there. Hear me out on this. There's women on social media saying, I wish my husband would stand up to me like that. Yeah. It's a different scenario. It's not like you're sitting at a bar, or you're going in a store, and someone's like hitting on you and talking nasty to you. This is the Oscars where the host is a comedian, and it's kind of funny stuff. And with all due respect, Jada Pinkett Smith looks gorgeous with her alopecia.
Sure.
Right? She carries that pretty well.
Alopecia?
Right?
Yeah, okay.
But
go ahead.
The ghost, Chris Rock has kids.
So does Heath Slater. Boo-hoo. What?
Dude.
This is such a work. It's a work. Stop it. It's a total work. And, everyone's falling for it.
Davio says Laurel and Kaufman did it first.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so obvious, too. And you know what? It was brilliant, because everybody's having an internet finger-spraying moment. You know? By the way, how did Don Rickles ever get through his entire career insulting people without getting slapped? You know why? Because they weren't smart enough to think about doing something like this. That's why.
What are you gaining? Oh, by the way, Big Fat Whale's bank account.
I love the big fat empty. Yeah, the Big Fat Whale's empty bank account.
Back in the house. Welcome, buddy.
There you go.
Why would you think you'd waste your time with a work?
What? What do you mean? They didn't waste their time. Billions more people are now paying attention to them currently. It added to their fame and notoriety. Cha-ching!
Their fame. They're as famous as you can be.
Oh, there's no such thing as that. You can always be more famous. And Vince would be the first one to tell you, Monty.
I gotta disagree with you on this
that's
one,
okay.
man.
That's okay.
All right, so
I smell work, but that's me.
Suspend
disbelief.
I thought
it was hilarious. I did suspend disbelief. It was a good slap.
All right, hold on.
He did a good job. You know,
in the Pharaoh's mind, say, okay, it's real.
Okay, I'll say it's real.
What right does another man have to take the dignity of another man like that in front of an audience of millions?
I think we both already know that if somebody did that to me live, I would destroy them.
Do you think
So
Chris
the
Rock
fact that
did a
he
good
just
job by
he
not
just
doing
stood
that?
there and just went, yeah, okay, Jeff, you want to chime in? You're shaking your head. What would you?
Maria Davis is saying Will was off balance. If you looked close, Chris played the work.
Absolutely, he sold that, and the throw was
He actually no-sold it. He knows
I thought he sold it because
there.
he went with it. No, he didn't. He veered.
Yeah, and then he popped right back up.
Yeah, because you didn't want to lose anything.
That's called an AEW no.
That was both neither one lost face. Don't you get it?
So it's a 50-50
It's a 50-50
booking.
booking.
50-50
Absolutely,
booking.
Jeff. What did you want to say?
Say what you want about me, goof what you want about me.
Yeah.
Don't you ever talk about my wife. Or you're dead.
Well,
right.
Let me ask you a question,
Okay.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in an award ceremony. There's a roaster. You're somewhat famous. You're the producer of Monte The Pharaoh. You're actually now famous. So you're there, and the comedian makes fun of your wife. You're going to get upset?
I'm going to put my finger up and let him know that that joke stops now.
That's not what you're going to walk up there and smack him in the face, and you think you're not going to get smacked back if it's real?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, I know.
What are we talking about here? Because you could go up there. I believe you that you could go up there and be like, "Don't say that slap."
Hey,
but
look,
the guy on the slapping end is just going to stand there.
Jamie
like,
C. You know Jamie C.
Not in my world.
You know Jamie C.
No.
You already got a fan. Jeff is right. Oh my God.
I
You
agree
already got
with
someone
Jeff.
agreeing with you.
I agree with
There we
Jeff
go.
in principle.
There'll
That's
be more.
what made this whole thing. You see, at the bottom of a work has to be a great story, and that's a great story. Don't joke about my wife. Anyone can relate to that. What a brilliant work this was.
And have you heard?
Just brilliant.
Here's what I think.
Brilliant, right, Matt? Brilliant.
You are convincing me.
Hold on. Maybe I could speak. Maybe I could speak for 1 second.
Monty.
Hold on.
And the Pharaoh.
If the other Rock was on the stage and said the same thing to Jada Smith, Will Smith would have took his wife's hand and said, "Fuck you," and walked out of the Oscars.
He's not walking up
Yes.
to the Rock.
So as much as you want to brag that you better not talk about my wife, that's talking to Chris Rock at 5'3".
Right.
If it's The Rock,
you're not
Jeff.
Yeah,
you'll probably go.
You're not getting
Fuck you! Don't talk to my wife that way.
And go
I'm
the other
leaving,
way.
and
And go
I'm
the-
leaving.
go
Brock
the other
Lesnar. If Brock Lesnar's on that stage and he says raunchy shit to your wife, you going up on that stage
I'm
and do something?
I'm not going up on that.
I may not slap him, but I might walk
know
up
you're
to
gonna
him.
slap
You're not
him.
going up on that stage.
You're not going up on that
You're not
stage.
going
You're not
up on that
bullshitting
stage.
anyone here.
And-
In fact, you're going to cower in your chair like this.
I'm leaving.
But let's remember one other thing. Chris Rock is all of his next appearances.
Yeah.
They're all sold out.
Of course they are.
They're sold out anyway.
They would have been sold out anyway.
Come on, man.
Either way,
Maria Davis is exact, Monty. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
All the tough guys.
But here's the best part, though. Here's the best part.
I'll defend my wife. I'll defend my girlfriend.
Again, I just think it should work. So at the end of the day, though, no matter what this was, if they're smart, they'll make a movie together. Just go make a movie together. Man, oh man, will you make
if
$1
Will
zillion?
Smith loses
Imagine that if they made a movie together and they should play detectives.
If Will Smith loses
where they're
his
like
Academy
always
Award,
arguing with each
if
other.
he
I
loses
think
his
it'll be-
Academy Award,
Yeah.
is it a work still?
I don't know. I don't
No.
know. That just means the Academy Award. What does that mean? That would be like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. A couple of bands get in a fight, and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame goes, "You're both punished."
Xavier
Who
Diaz
cares?
says it was just a comedian stunt to get the popularity going. That's
I think
all.
it was a whole work. That's just,
Mitchell Products. Hey, Mitch, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. It was a big work.
I think so too.
Rick Howard, if Chris Rock sold it, Jeff Hardy could have ran to the stage dancing. Oh, my God. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Well,
what other ridiculous stuff do you have?
it seems that the theory is it's a work, but
I think it's
we
a
always
work.
got to talk about my friend Whoopi Goldberg, who decides to defend
now?
the Academy's decision not to physically eject Will Smith after Chris Rock. Whoopi Goldberg on Thursday defended the Film Academy's decision to give Will Smith the option of leaving Sunday's Oscars after the slap. Here's an option: slap someone and sit down and have a good time.
I bet you Carol O'Connor would have been thrown out on his ass.
Oh,
yeah, let's
you
not
were
get
damn
into
right.
that there, Edith.
Speaking about the
Hey.
controversy on The View on Thursday, Goldberg, who serves as the Academy's board of
Goldberg?
governors,
Wait a minute,
Whoopi
Whoopi
Goldberg
that's a lame Goldberg. Go ahead.
said she understands why Smith was asked to leave the show rather than being told to exit the ceremony. So, Jeff, weigh in on that, Mr. New Producer. Have your mic ready.
As soon as he finds the mic.
I don't talk about Goldberg.
No. I'm not talking about Whoopi.
What?
Why did the Academy tell Will Smith to leave?
You know what? I was listening to this right before the show on the news, and there are 5 different versions of what happened.
I don't think we have long enough to hear these 5.
No, and I'm not going to go into it, but everybody's got a different version of what went on. So just leave it at that for now, and let's wait a week and see how many more that come up.
Well, you know why that's another reason why I think it's a work. Because remember when the Garden, Madison Square Garden, removed Charles Oakley? Do you remember that? Yeah. That was not a work. That was real. This one's like, well, you could politely leave now. Get out of here. This whole thing was set up.
Well, Chris Rock recalls his childhood, and the reason he said he didn't react is that he was pretty much conditioned to this type of abuse because he was bullied his whole life.
That's very deep.
So again, if this is this all work, Chris Rock is really putting himself over as this very soft man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like to take that role.
Yeah.
And joining us on the couch is Mr. Chris Patty. Chris, how are you? The owner of the illustrious Indie Music TV.
Hi, guys.
Chris, do you want to weigh in on this? Pharaoh seems to think it was a work. I seem to think it was real. What are your thoughts?
You asked. The whole thing is BS to me. I am sick and tired of the woke, left Hollywood, all about themselves and nobody else mentality. I'm done with Hollywood. I'm done with this. People are dying. They're dying in Ukraine, and we're talking about somebody getting hit. First of all, number one, it's a total setup because he was fine with it. Then all of a sudden, he wasn't okay with it.
Well, Jada did give him the devil eyes.
Oh, yeah. That was a bad sell
job. So let me
job.
tell you something. A friend of mine, Tanae Jackson, I think she's actually Tito Jackson's daughter. Mm-hmm. She posted online something very interesting. African-American woman, artist, well-known, said that a lot of women manipulate their men that way. That she wanted him to stand up for her, and that's why she gave him that look. And he was like, oh, I guess I better stand up for her. But that wasn't his initial reaction.
I understand. His initial reaction was laughter. That's why at first I thought it was work. But then I thought about it. How many times have I told you that my wife consistently tries to put me in a predicament to defend her? Mm-hmm. Right? So what you're bringing up is a really good point. The other thing I want to say is, let's not forget that Jada openly sleeps with other men. They have that agreement.
That's it.
So obviously,
he's
Will
insecure
is a
about
real
everything.
He's a real beaten down.
Of course
puppy,
he is.
Right?
Of course he is.
But again, what right? If it's a work, got it. If it's not a work, what right do you have to take someone's manhood like that by slapping them in front of a million people?
Well,
a billion people.
First of all, he should have immediately been removed because if you or I did that, we would have been escorted out by security. That's number one, okay? Number two, Chris Rock was an absolute gentleman. I don't think he could have possibly handled it any better. I would have smacked Will Smith if he did it to me. I would have said, what the F are you, what are you doing?
Right.
Hey. All right, we grew up in New York. Maybe things are different here. But I thought Chris Rock was an absolute consummate gentleman. I give him nothing but respect. And guess who's laughing to the bank? Chris Rock, because his $100 tickets are now going for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to come see his performances now. He's laughing only way to the bank. So you know what?
I didn't know they
Thank
changed
you,
the
Will
price.
Smith. Yeah. And he says, I don't want to talk. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I will address it. He said it. I think it was a show last night that he said this. Bottom line is, what are we talking about here? That a show that I grew up loving when I was a kid. It was just the Oscars were like a classy, like level in entertainment to aspire to.
It became very roasty.
Now it's a sewer.
Well, they became very roasty, right? Look, we're at fault. It's our generation at fault. We tortured every host they put on there. Oh, they're not good enough. Then Billy Crystal took over. Okay, we love Billy Crystal, and then he did it for I don't know how many years, and then someone else came in and you didn't like them. They're constantly looking for this new, fresher host, joking, and that's what you got to expect in today's award ceremonies, right?
I think it's a big fat sewer. I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah. I don't watch it. I'm not interested in it. I think all these people do is pat themselves on the back while they drive around in their private jets and complain about climate change. I've had it. I don't want to know about it. Yeah. That's why I created Indie Music TV. I want to be in my own little independent world where it's about the talent. It's about integrity.
802 says 300 a ticket it's going for.
Okay, well, whatever it is. I've heard up to 1,000. I heard that on. I think
I'm
it was
sure
CNBC,
right now,
today.
with the recent events, I'm sure scalping you're going to get those higher numbers.
My point is that it's all about them patting each other on the back. It's not the integrity is gone out of the Oscars and just Hollywood in general. So I tune out personally.
Well, we got a lot more to talk about, so can you hang out on the couch for a little bit?
If you want me to,
right?
sure.
I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monte The Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner, Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Get them on Spotify, Apple Music, Reverb Nation, or where all music can be downloaded.
Was I supposed to do the... hey, Matt, you want to get on the mic and do Bartman one last time for us? It is his last show, after all. I figured we'd have...
It would be my honor.
All right, hit it, babe.
There you go. If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Catch Monte The Pharaoh on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page, Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, the Monte The Pharaoh Twitch TV page. If you're lucky enough to live in New York, you get to see us on Channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and Saturday at 11:30 p.m. against Saturday Night Live, and Channel 20 at Tuesdays at 1 a.m. where over 100,000 viewers see us weekly.
We hit it.
We want to again say thank you to Amazon Music for putting us on, and there's some other future endeavors coming on, hopefully, that we'll be able to announce shortly. We're very excited for. We'll be right back with the owner of the station, Mr. Chris Patty, obviously the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow, the new producer, Jeff, and maybe he could keep his mouth shut for a little while, and me. We'll be right back with what we call, we would rather be a nobody than be an evil somebody.
We'll see you in a sec.
Jimmy, I just got the best hookup on tickets.
Fill me in.
I went to www.seatslinks.com and ordered the best tickets with the best prices.
Call 718-676-0504. SeatsLink, the complete ticket experience.
Tell them Charles sent you. In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast. You are watching Monte and the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
So, for fans out there, the Peacock, the WW, I don't want to call it the WWE.
Happy WrestleMania weekend, everybody!
Yeah, Pharaoh's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Must speak about wrestling.
Must talk arm bars, WrestleMania. Go ahead.
WWE came out with on Peacock a series called Evil.
And you sprung a boner. Because you love this shit.
I love it.
You love this shit. Go ahead.
And we'll talk about it a little later on the show, but I was thinking to myself,
oh God,
evil, like wrestling evil. And I was struggling to come up with wrestlers who I thought were evil.
Like on-screen characters or off-screen?
No, on-screen. You can't do the off-screen stuff,
there's
right?
some obvious
ones.
On-screen characters. Okay, now that we've established that.
In between all that, I'm at home last Saturday night. Me and the wife are watching HBO, and I put on something called Phoenix Rising. It's about Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
She was the actress, the daughter from The Wrestler. She was a star of 13.
She was good.
She's an incredible
She was in
actress.
The Wrestler?
Chris,
she was
I'm familiar,
Yeah.
She's really good.
And Phoenix Rising is the latest category of abuse documentaries.
Uh-oh.
The two-part film streaming on HBO Max brings a startling light to the abusive relationship that actor Evan Rachel Wood claims she endured at the hands of rocker Marilyn Manson, including severe physical abuse, psychological abuse, and the really four-letter word, rape. Right. The sexual violence occurred at least one time on camera, Wood alleges, filmed for Manson's music video, Heart-Shaped Glasses, when Wood was too drugged by him to consent. What he promised her was it was supposed to be simulated sex.
Okay.
But when the camera started to roll, he penetrated her.
He did it for real.
And he had sex with her on camera.
Okay.
Which really affected her career.
Right.
At that
And she was
point.
high as a kite when this was happening, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So he literally raped her.
Right.
This relationship goes on for nearly 5 years of mental abuse.
5 years of this.
Forcing the drinking of blood, whipping, locking away, keeping her away from her family, and feeding her drugs. So I was sitting on the couch watching this, and I'm shocked, okay, because I really did respect her a lot as a actress. And honestly, I actually enjoyed some of Marilyn Manson's music, and I started feeling dirty that because remember when Columbine happened, they interviewed Manson because they kind of were blaming Manson for the Columbine, and he was interviewed on it, and he basically, his famous line there was, if those kids had someone to talk to, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But you kind of find out that Marilyn Manson's a Nazi.
Right.
He's just a piece of
shit. From the things you were learning in the documentary, which I did not see.
And what kind of sick shit does someone do to another human? This goes beyond the Will Smith thing now. Right. Now it's like you're taking a person. And let's not forget, their relationship started, he was 35, she was 18.
Are you surprised at Marilyn Manson's behavior? Were you really that surprised? Because I have to be honest, I am a hardcore realist, really hardened individual. And when I look at Marilyn Manson, I see a successful psycho. That's what I see. And I don't really like his music much, but that doesn't matter. He's clearly, the things that he is, as far as his showmanship, deeply bleed into how he is as a spirit. This is a fucked up dude. I'm not surprised that he did these sorts of things, allegedly. When I hear them. You surprised?
Yeah, I am.
Why?
I got to say that, my thing with these kinds of, I don't want to say accusations. I don't know what other word to use. Everything is an accusation until it's proven.
By the way, she had this documented. She kept memoirs the whole time.
If there's video of that incident,
there is a
she
video
was
of that
actually
incident.
penetrated.
It's an actual video.
Jail. Goodbye. He's done. Mm-hmm. He's finished. And he should be immediately. If that's the case, then that's the case. The problem is, it's very prevalent in entertainment. Yep. It's like you have drugs, the physical drugs, then you have the mental drugs. You have the dopamine that happens when you're famous and everybody's kissing your ass.
Oh, yeah.
And you become, everybody yeses you.
That's a high.
It's literally a high, and it's just like doing a heroin or any other type of opioid where when you take it away, they become desperate for it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why a lot of celebrities go, like I always use, better, ruined. They're doing well, and it happened. Will Smith, perfect example. Why he's got the open marriage, right? Well, it's the cool thing to do. And
wait. In whose life have you been taught that it's okay to rape somebody?
It's not.
It's like, in whose mentality do you have the right? Again, when do you have the right to slap someone? When do you have the right to rape somebody?
It's all wrong. It's all wrong, but the problem is that it's like they say, the devil works in mysterious ways, and it's over time. These people get involved in these things, and they get in these situations, and a little bit more is okay, a little bit more is okay. And it's amazing over time what happens, that when they go from here to here, it's amazing what they're now accepting in their lives, whether it's been their private lives or whatever. They get away with murder, right? They'll parking tickets, moving violations.
All right,
they're famous.
So
they get away with everything.
I'm going to challenge you guys, both of you guys, with a very hard question, but I want you to hear what I'm saying to you. Is Marilyn Manson just as bad as Adolf Hitler was? And I'll give you my reason why I say this, and I want you guys to retort. Hitler played to a huge, massive audience. Manson, not so much. My belief, if Manson would do that to women, and there were other women making these accusations too in this documentary, by the way, if he could have the power of an Adolf Hitler, what would have stopped him? So you guys weigh in. Tell me what you think. Is that a stupid comment?
Jimmy, you want to go first?
There are different degrees of madness, just like there are different degrees of many other things in life. Adolf Hitler, I go by the back of the baseball card. The back of the baseball card says that Adolf Hitler was absolutely more evil at the end of the day than Charles Manson. That's just a statistic.
But he had more opportunity,
That's
right?
just a statistic I'm throwing at you.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I'm doing first the numerical breakdown.
Gotcha.
Adolf Hitler is probably one of the all-time greats as far as psycho, lunatic bastards, but I think Genghis Khan holds the record when it comes to body counts. Could be wrong, but you can look it up.
And that's the point that I wanted to...
There's different degrees of lunatics.
Answer to, leaving off with what you just said, Jimmy, is... We're weighing evil like the back of a baseball card.
How
like
messed
like
up
an
is
ERA
that?
average or something.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, is murdering one child okay
evil is
compared
evil.
to murdering 50 children?
Right.
It's all wrong.
Right.
And I don't know that you can say that. Maybe you can say because he didn't.
It is all wrong.
That Marilyn Manson didn't affect as many people in a negative way as obviously Hitler did.
Right.
I don't know if that's... Is that a valid question? Does it matter, Mike? Does it really matter? Both evil bastards. I'm sorry.
Good point, Pharaoh.
Yeah. Well, again, my answer is not definitive. I was showing the back of the baseball card as one aspect of the person's lunacy.
But
We're talking about
points.
Joseph Stalin.
But what I'm trying to say
George
is,
Stalin, there's another Hall of Famer.
What I'm trying to say is, we're having this conversation. And you're like, hey, Mike, but in this industry, people get famous, and all of a sudden they take a little more, and a little more, and a little more. But eventually, when you keep taking more, you're Adolf Hitler.
Right.
You just didn't get that chance.
He was a man of peace. A piece of Poland, a piece of Czechoslovakia, a piece of... Yeah, sure. I get it. I totally get it.
And you know what?
I also think that I'm sorry, Chris. I think that Marilyn Manson has very powerful attorneys. I've said this to you off the record. I have a feeling that Marilyn Manson might be untouchable, quite honestly, in this particular battle. You're talking about a Hollywood actress against Marilyn Manson. Something tells me Marilyn Manson's little power camp is very powerful in this particular situation. I think it's going to go away.
Well,
I don't know why, but that's how...
A lot of things do, without getting into the Biden laptop and everything else that's going on. A laptop. I mean, things go away if it's the right people with the right connections. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him and his political clout in the business and how much money he has and how anybody can fight anything.
Yeah.
So I'll throw this at
obviously.
You. So you clearly have Hitler, who had people murder millions, right?
Oh.
Manson, we're already saying, again, we're saying hypothetical.
Your friendly neighborhood lunatic.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's throw Howard Stern into the mix. Howard never... Hold on. Give me a chance.
Hey, it's me. It's Howard.
Howard numerous times have abused people so much that they've actually killed themselves over what he has said.
Dana Plato?
Wait a minute. Is that true?
I don't know
really
if that's true.
Absolutely. Dana Plato was on there, and Howard allowed people to call in and attack her.
I know she was
and
very...
you know what? The next day, she took her life.
That is rough. That is rough.
So what's the difference between him and Charles Manson? Charles Manson manipulated people, too. Yeah. Howard is one of the great manipulators of all time.
Charlie did cut off the ear of Shorty Shea, though, with a sword. So it's not like he didn't...
My point is...
He tied up the La Biancas to show them how to do it right.
There's so many different levels of evil. Is it out of control to say that was made in fun? This was this.
Right.
This was that.
Hey, why don't we just cut to the chase? If he really did this, he should be castrated live on television. How about that?
He should be in prison for the rest of his life.
Loose Cannon says Stalin killed more people. That's true, too.
So Stalin, like I said, again, I think Genghis Khan's got the all-time kill count.
But I'm personally, it's not about a body count for me.
Right.
It's all evil.
Right.
And they need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
By society.
Yeah. And
that's it.
For whatever it's worth, the good book says that there's no discerning between levels of evil, by the way.
And
evil is evil.
Kevin says
I wasn't going to bring
Jeffrey
that up.
Epstein.
You're
it's
right.
true.
Kevin says Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Now, I'll say one thing. I will say one thing about Weinstein.
What?
That's a man that just used his power to get what he wanted.
He used his power for his poker?
He used his power.
Yeah.
I think that's as despicable...
Right? Yeah.
I think what Harvey Weinstein did was as despicable as what any evil person on this planet has ever done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Power, fame, money, human greed, lust, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, it's these people that slowly get... I've seen people go that route over 30, 40 years, and it's a little bit every day, and then all of a sudden you turn around. If you don't look in the mirror every day and ask, who the hell am I? And am I making the world a better place than it was when I got here? People that don't ask that question, then they wind up wrapping themselves around their own hype and what people say. And, you know, people who listen to all the negative, they wind up killing themselves. They wind up on antidepressants like 80% of the world, right? Yeah. But people that, you know, that don't and that just go blindly forward with their lusts and their desires and stuff, they start compromising more and more and more and more. And when the more power they get, the more they get away with it. Yeah. It's really like an inverse proportion of what happens. Yeah. You know, the biggest politicians in the world, they get away with everything.
Right. Yeah.
To me personally, I just don't understand what goes through people's minds, and I don't care how powerful you are.
Yeah.
There's nothing godly about taking advantage of another human being.
What about, does Russia really need the Ukraine? What are you doing? These young people are dying right now. What are we doing here?
To me, that's a different situation.
But that's evil, too.
It is evil, yes.
It's like, hey, you know, I think I'll just go in and take evil. Look at the size of that country. What's going on?
It might be evil in a way that we're looking at it,
right.
But maybe, I'm just saying, the Russian people are like, man, we're starving over here. We need more. And maybe in their mind...
No, Michael, they know that's only going to alienate them from the rest of the world and from the Western world and from the pipeline of money and food and commodities. That doesn't help the Russian people. Yeah. Everything that Vladimir Putin is doing is hurting everybody, and it's hurting him the most, whether he realizes it or not.
It's not a good thing.
He's finished.
It's not a good thing.
He's finished because if he wins the war, he's finished. If he loses the war, he's finished.
Right.
He picked a fight with a country he had no idea what he was getting himself into, number one. And number two, for what? For what? He had Crimea. He got away with that. He has to now. Was he going to go to Poland next?
Oh, boy.
Now we're talking World War III.
But isn't that interesting how, you say Poland, Ukraine doesn't deserve any humanitarian respect? I was like, Poland.
He has this twisted idea that he wants to go back 100 years as to what the Soviet Socialist Republic was 100 years ago.
USSR, yeah.
That's over. Yeah. The world is not the same place it was 100 years ago. That's never going to happen.
No, and our toys are a lot more dangerous now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll be right. We'll be right back, and we're going to get into a little wrestling for the last 20 minutes. So you'll be happy about that.
Whoa, WrestleMania. No.
We'll be right back with I'd rather be a nobody than an evil somebody.
See you in a second. You're hired.
And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, where we're celebrating the...
Celebrating?
Well, I want to celebrate because of our thankfulness for Matt, and this is his last night.
I'm actually very melancholy about
It's sad, but it's also celebrating. Number one, he's going on to bigger and better things. And number two, he was an integral part of growing this show for us. So it is somewhat of a celebration.
Yeah.
And we're also celebrating the fact that Jeff's at the board. Anyway. Let's talk.
Oh my God! He's going to throw something this way. It's going to happen.
Let's talk about WWE evil. So we talked about real evil.
That's not WrestleMania. Right? I want to talk about WrestleMania. All right, talk about your documentary.
Episode one is Hogan.
Okay.
All right.
Wait a minute. The name of the show is Evil.
Evil. Yes.
And the first one is about Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, go ahead.
So when Hulk turns bad, it's actually really... But again...
Like Dracula, Frankenstein, Michael Myers evil? What sort of evil are we talking about?
What does evil mean to you?
Evil to me is nefariously, dastardly, and scares the shit out
of
me. Hulk Hogan never scared the shit out of me.
Not like this is more of like... The documentary is fantastic.
Okay. Well, that's good.
But it's more like... Bad Guy. It should have been called Bad Guy.
Bad Guy.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
Right, not
instead of evil.
Right, evil's like evil.
Yeah, because evil has a ring though. It's more marketable than Bad Guy.
Well, it's pretty marketable. But anyway, I recommend episode 1. The Hogan one actually brought me to tears because it was such a wonderful, wonderfully
farting
done.
would bring us to tears. We
Okay,
love
great.
Hogan.
Episode 2, which I'm going to rate, it's The Miz.
Yeah. The Miz is evil?
The Miz.
With that stupid show with his wife? That is so not evil. That's ridiculous.
That episode is like,
Hi,
okay.
I'm evil. Wait. You're not evil.
Well, you know, he's been a bad guy a long time.
So what? I've been a bad guy my whole life. I'm more evil than him. The Miz is not evil. That's terrible.
Episode 3. So anyway, The Miz one I recommend.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
Good.
It was
Why
okay.
is he evil? Were you convinced? So wait a minute.
I wasn't convinced he was
Were you
evil.
convinced Hogan was evil at the end of the Hogan one?
If you were comparing him to some of the other ones, I was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be shocked who I really thought was evil. But,
Okay. All right. All right. But you didn't necessarily walk out.
I didn't
and go,
walk
wow,
out
he's
going,
evil.
Hogan's evil. No.
Okay. So
I walked out going, holy shit, Hogan had
This
one
third
hell
one-
of a career.
Yeah, of course he did.
I walked out of the Miz one saying, you know what? Got to give the guy, like, I always looked at him as a little bit of a joke.
Right,
But
of course.
he's more than a joke. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he's done a great job.
He's
He
been
has.
an ultimate bad guy.
He
evil?
has.
Hell
Yeah.
no.
No, he's not evil.
Episode 3 was Sasha Banks.
This I don't understand at all. What is so evil?
Here's
about
what I
Sasha
understand
Banks?
about Sasha
With
Banks.
that tushy, there's no way she could
There's
be
no evil in
There's no
Sasha
evil in that
Banks.
tushy. And I say that.
ESO says Miz does not deserve an evil show.
Yeah, what is
It's true.
that?
That is true.
Yeah. Sasha's tushy. I'm stuck.
I didn't like the Sasha.
Why is she evil? Explain.
She's not even evil. It was just slut.
Was it when she picked
because
on
there
the
was
Bailey
some
fan
kid,
or something?
There was some
the
kid.
Bailey fan.
Yeah, the Bailey.
That's the
yeah,
Bailey
yeah.
fan. Wow, that was so evil.
It was like, you know.
She's evil. I don't understand. All right.
Then were the Brothers of Destruction.
Okay, now we might be getting at least a little somewhere on character.
Right.
We've got The Undertaker and Kane, the brothers from the pits of hell.
Right.
Okay, fine. I'm going to give that one a pass.
You're going to give us some evil?
If you don't give it to Undertaker and Kane, what are you
Really
looking
not
for?
evil, though.
Satan himself to come out in a dog collar match?
But again,
with
when I
Vince?
see The Undertaker, well, again, when The Undertaker first came out, they
Wait
showed a
minute.
lot of...
Dog collar match, Satan versus Vince.
Oh, my God, that'd be very...
That match would be fire.
But the one thing you forget, when The Undertaker came out, we were older, but the kids' faces that they filmed, those kids looked like they were going to shit a brick.
Yeah, they were going to shit.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot
so
about
maybe
that,
there
too.
was some evil there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll recommend the Brothers of
Yeah,
Destruction.
they're evil. Yeah.
Then came Randy Orton.
Legend killer, yes. Well, I'm thinking about...
ESO says worst episode, Undertaker and Kane. I'm going to go with Sasha on that.
Interesting.
No, I'm going to
Oh,
go
that's
with
fine.
I'm going with Sasha on
That's
that
fine.
one.
There's got to be... how about the reasons why they thought that was the worst episode? I'm interested.
Sasha, Loose Cannon says Sasha's a bad girl.
She's a bad...
She is bad.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
bad.
that tushy. This
Tushy.
I'm trying to
Use
keep
the
it
word
clean.
tushy. Jeff, do you use the word tushy?
Hey, I'm trying to keep it clean, folks.
All right.
He used it. Wait a minute, Heine. How about that? That Heine. This is really... No, not pooper,
Ew,
scooper.
gross.
What are you going to do? What's next? Dumper? Well, what a dumper.
That is good.
The dumper is terrible.
By the way, I got a problem. I'm going
I
to ask the
don't think
fans
of
out there.
dumps when I
Could
think of-
someone tell me, and maybe you can, wrestling expert.
I am not a
When did
wrestling
everybody
expert.
start using the word, that was a banger of a match? Like everybody's
Don't
new
you
word
know
is
what that-
banger.
you
What
know-
is that?
Don't you know where that comes
No,
from?
where is it from?
That's from across the pond, and now these dopey Americans have
I
decided to
fucking
start
hate it.
using it.
Oh,
You should-
that match was a banger.
And I'll tell you why you hate it, because everybody's jumping aboard something that belongs in England, because it sounds great coming off of their tongues, and it sounds right coming
Oh,
from
so you
them.
really do know the origin of banger.
It's the English, and I dig the English. Let them do their thing, and leave it out of your vocabulary.
that
okay?
match was a banger.
Yeah, you know, when they call it a banger, yeah, it's cool. But not, oh, that match was a banger. Shut up, Evan.
Oh, my God.
I mean, what the frig, bro? You know?
Oh,
Hey,
my God.
Anyway,
man.
go ahead.
Stop it.
Randy Orton. Okay, can we get back to Randy Orton evil?
So there's a point where Randy Orton, like, he's...
Do you remember what he did to Bray Wyatt's house?
Yeah, but
Yeah, that was evil.
hear me out. At the beginning, Randy Orton's is normal. He's talking, but he puts himself into character, and he shows you how he gets himself into character.
Randy Orton's a psycho.
So Randy Orton,
He's a
again,
psycho.
very good episode. It was a very good
he's
episode.
closer to evil than any of these people.
No,
in real
I'm going to
life.
tell you, no.
Oh, here comes the kid, the breadwinner.
The
Here comes
breadwinner.
the truly evil one.
Stephanie McMahon.
Why am I not surprised?
That was evil.
She'll get you and your little dog too.
Oh, you ain't kidding, dude. And the best thing about the documentary, you watch Stephanie's breast grow. It's like
during the episode.
During the
What,
episode.
she's sitting in a chair and they're like,
No,
"And
not
then
like that."
I remember-
No, no, but it's like
I would love that. Now, frame by frame, slowly I turned, step by step, inch by inch. Hey, put those breasts away,
how far are you going to make a breast this
fired.
big?
What?
How big
Yeah,
is
they
the
should
breast?
be like, over the boulder shoulder holders. What?
Oh my God! Stop.
I think it's over the shoulder boulder holders, but that's another story. Anyway,
They actually should make a documentary on Stephanie's breasts,
They
like
should.
year by year.
You know what? Each one would take at least 2 hours. You could have a left breast documentary, 2 hours, and a right breast. And the left and the right disagree extremely. They have different takes because it's the left breast and the
And then it ended
Never
up.
mind.
Then it ended
Go
up
ahead.
with Roman Reigns, which ended up being a very
Roman Reigns
popular.
is evil?
I got to tell you, dude.
What's evil about a guy who overcame leukemia and is a family man behind the scenes?
Roman Reigns was hated, dude.
By who?
Everybody.
What, you mean every independent, loving nerd on the internet?
Dude,
but
like,
what is that?
I
make him
forgot
evil?
how much hate that guy. Even after
he was hated.
after he got back from leukemia, like the match
Right.
after they.
Boom! Die!
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are fucked up.
Well, it wasn't like that, but it was
It
like
wasn't?
it was like once they knew he was okay, then they just booed him.
Oh, you're all right.
You're
Boo.
right. Boo, I hate
wow.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, what a fan base. Anytime. Ugh. I don't think he's evil. How the fuck does he come out evil? You know what? The only ones were Undertaker and Kane as far as their well, Stephanie's played a pretty evil bitch over the years. So why was she so evil? Like what made it, besides her ever-growing boobies?
They went into the origin of it, like where
Her boobies?
she was
Or her?
she was going to be sacrificed by the Undertaker, and then Vince came out. And,
Okay.
But anyway,
Is this when they crucified
let's
Austin on that
let's break it
that was
into Roman
terrible.
Reigns.
What?
Roman Reigns
Yeah.
now, in my
Right, go
opinion, is in the top 5 greatest pro
You
wrestlers in history.
You really have lost your mind with Roman Reigns. What's going on here?
You
He's
disagree?
clearly no. I don't disagree with it because it's your opinion. I think that Roman Reigns is the greatest of his of the WWE generation that he's been with. He's obviously the greatest. He's been.
Oh, by the
booked
way,
greatest.
Davio doesn't like banger. He
Had
prefers
the most success.
slobber knocker. Slobber knocker.
I
like.
love Slobber Knocker. I always liked Slobber Knocker.
Oh, ESO. Oh, you know, I forgot about the Ric Flair one.
Oh,
The Ric Flair one
he's
was
probably more evil than all of them.
dude. It was just like it was like a documentary of the
Yeah,
wrestler.
what is
It
this?
wasn't like, I don't know, the Ric Flair
You
one.
probably
It was
loved them
good.
all.
I like Flair documentaries.
Wow, what
Flair's
makes you sit and watch
weird.
one documentary after another?
Can't stop.
What is it?
I love it.
Wow.
I
I've been
love
that way
the
with the
history
old
of
Garden and
wrestlers.
Spectrum matches lately. I just sit and
That I
binge
don't
watch
understand.
Garden and Spectrum matches from 40 years
Watching
ago.
Baron Mikel Cicluna. I mean, come on, dude. Really?
Hey! I got
With
my...
his roll of
He's hiding
quarters.
his
Dude, how did we even like wrestling back then? What was wrong with us?
What?
What was
A
wrong?
lot was wrong with us, but look at us now.
That's a major problem,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, it's rough. All right.
Tribal Chief, Phil wants to know, Tribal Chief, a Cowboy Brock. Well, you're going to have to watch This Week in Pro Wrestling tomorrow.
Yeah,
and find out.
that's true, Phil. That's
Phil,
true.
We're not going to reveal
It looks
what-
like we did
but
most of our WrestleMania talk on This Week in Wrestling,
That's
so
right.
definitely check that out.
But there's some
guys.
good storylines that we believe are going to come out of this.
Man, oh man,
and
if
I think
they
you
do
guys
what we
are going
want
to love
them
it.
to do.
Oh my God,
Ooh, that would
you guys
be
might
something.
want us to write for the WWE.
I
after
think
you
they
hear from
would,
this.
honestly. You know.
All right, so I'm going to hit you with this, Mr. Wrestling Expert. You
Would
ready?
you stop calling me that? I'm
When
just
you
a-
think of evil wrestlers,
yeah.
give me a real evil wrestler.
Look, growing up, the really truly evil ones were the ones we didn't get to see. Because remember, we would get the magazines, and you would leaf through these, and you would look at guys you can't see. I thought Abdullah the Butcher was an absolute murderer.
That's good. That's
You
good
know,
one.
looking at Abdullah, the original Sheik, every time covered in blood. Abdullah covered in blood. These crazy matches that these guys would do. A loose cannon like Maniac Mark Lewin, I thought was insane. You know, it really depended. Honestly, the early days of Kevin Sullivan, I thought he was damn evil too. You know, the early days of Kevin. Before it got real big,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
guess
like
you're
he
right,
was like
dude.
Kevin Sullivan in Florida Championship Wrestling before he was a household name, you know, in the wrestling circles. Man, oh man, was he evil.
Dude, Luce is bringing up a good point.
Yeah.
He says Flair's an egomaniac and
Yeah.
is out of control.
Sure.
We were talking about that
Sure.
over dinner.
Sure.
I agree, Luce. I think Ric Flair is really proving that he might be a real shitheel, dude, in real life. Now, we had Baby Doll in here. She seemed to have adored Rick.
Yeah, can I sound jaded?
Go
I
ahead.
really don't give a shit either way. I mean, to me, it's just as long as we never find out that he murdered or raped or whatever, he wanted to be a wild man and other people did wild things with him and around him, that's his rock star life business. That's how I see that. Ric Flair's a rock star. I cannot expect to be offended by extreme stories. If I hear something about Mick Jagger, it's not going to stop me from listening to Get Off My Effing Cloud. You know what I mean?
Chris Steve says he loved our interviews with Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher's awesome, and he's hilarious, too. And I love how some people get in an uproar. They're expecting that stupid, boring interview type thing, and then Abdullah and we're going back and forth. Abdullah's great.
Rick Howard says evil equals Sullivan.
Sullivan was the man when it came to evil.
Yeah, but now we know him, and it's like...
I love him as a person. I think he's great.
Like, I can't see him as evil anymore.
He probably sees me as alcoholic evil after the last time we had him in. Man, was I shit-faced. Anyway. Oh, boy.
802 says, yeah, Madden really had a lot to say. I heard that earlier today.
You know what? Just for the record, too, fuck Madden. All right?
Why?
I fucking don't like Madden. I've always thought he's a big, fat blowhard. Hilarious that I'm saying that. Folks, me, the Pharaoh. But I think he's a big, fat fucking blowhard. I never liked him as an announcer. I thought he was shit. And he was very fortunate to do a podcast with Ric Flair. Now he's going to talk shit? Shut the fuck up.
Well, Rick treated him like shit.
Well, that's the way it goes. Maybe he was a douchebag to Rick. How do we know? I'm going to side with the fact that he probably irritated the fuck out of Ric Flair. You know, but that's just me. I could be wrong. If so, I apologize, Mr. Madden.
Phil says Richard Morgan Fleer disappeared long ago. Ric Flair remains.
Right, of course.
Davio says most evil manager, Gary Hart.
Gary Hart was so
Gary
evil.
Hart was
Gary
evil.
Hart was great.
He was evil.
He's a big dude, too. You realize how big he was? Like
big
6'5" or some
deal.
shit. He was and a tough guy, too.
Kevin says the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah, that was evil.
Both Stone Cold and Stephanie were sacrificed to Taker's logo.
Yeah, man.
That shit was lame, dude.
It was stupid.
That shit was so stupid.
And you know what's funny? ECW did it so much better with a $1 bill with Sandman and Raven. I mean, I'm serious. You know, you can have all the production in the world. Those crucifixions were not only insulting; they look stupid.
By the way, Madden on Flair. You know what he said? That Rick doesn't talk to Triple H anymore. Doesn't talk to Shawn anymore. Doesn't talk to his son David
Because I'm not so sure
he doesn't talk to his son David anymore.
Really? Why?
How does a father not talk to his son?
What, is he mad about his WCW character or something? You were awful. Woo!
Oh, my God.
David Flair was terrible.
What does that have to do with his son?
Nothing. I'm just saying he was terrible.
You're going to defend Flair. You're defending Flair.
Well, you know, no. Why am I defending Ric Flair? And how do you know he's not talking to David? What is this anyway?
That's what Madden said.
Hey, good Lord.
All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining us. We want to talk about some upcoming events on April 21st.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
Oh, man.
In studio together.
No, this can't be real.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
This can't be real.
And Tito Santana together in studio. We've had Tito in twice, and we've had Greg in once, but now we have them together.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that, and what do you feel? How do you think this interview is going to go?
What are my thoughts on the fact that we're putting together two of the greatest Intercontinental champions who had one of the greatest Intercontinental feuds when the Intercontinental title truly meant something, that we're going to have the two of them together on the couch when no one does this? What are my feelings on this? Hariba! They're going to have some good fucking wine. This is going to be good. And I'm not drinking this time, by the way.
You better not.
I am not.
Mr.
And you're not either.
Mr. Wonderful
Wise
says
guy.
Dynamite Kid was evil in real life.
Hell's yeah.
He
sure
was
sounded
evil
like
in
it. Sure sounded.
Dude, I cannot wait for Valentine's Santana.
That's insane. That's just
That's like
absolutely
a
insane.
legitimate dream interview
You know
together.
what Greg Valentine means to me, and Tito has been a good friend of the show.
And then May 6th.
No.
Jesse the Body Ventura in studio.
This is one of those things that I won't believe it until I see him walk in.
So Pharaoh and
I'll be like, holy shit.
Pharaoh and I
Jesse
speak
Ventura.
a lot about, like I grew up when we started watching wrestling together. I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Just
talk.
don't forget your Hall of Fame favorite.
I will, but I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So Pharaoh always said, he always says he wants to interview Morocco because of me. Because when we growing up, Morocco, I love Morocco.
Oh God.
Since Morocco's been on the internet so long, I kind of lost interest. And honestly, I lost interest in him way before that.
Okay.
But Jesse Ventura has always been
Morocco.
in my top 5 favorites.
Sure.
As a wrestler,
sure.
As an announcer,
yeah.
I friggin' love Jesse Ventura. So for me personally,
this is just
about
the top of the mountain.
This is pretty
if not
close.
The top of the mountain.
The only thing that could top this
really,
is maybe Hogan.
Hogan would, for you and I, lightning could hit me in the parking lot afterwards. I'd be like, "That's cool, brother."
How do you feel about Ventura, though?
Interviewed Hulk Hogan. I can go now. Goodbye.
How do you feel about Ventura?
I'm almost speechless when I realized that what we just said.
Oh, Jason Moaning says Jesse's toupee in Running Man was evil. That was evil, dude. Jason, that's pretty funny, dude. That toupee was pretty evil.
I bet the toupee ran faster than the competitors.
Rick Howard, thank you, Rick.
What?
Rick Howard says, I'm going to read this. And Rick, thank you.
What is this?
Morocco's interviews are boring on that English guy's channel.
Pat Patterson is boring. Are you saying that Morocco?
Oh, Don.
Don't you start
remember
with
the
that.
time
Please don't do a British
in 1983
accent.
where you had red shoelaces. What made you wear the red shoelaces? I got up one morning and my white shoelaces broke, so I bought some red shoelaces. Don, that's so wonderful. Thank you. And then that stupid wave music plays.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whatever. And also on May 6th, we've got Coco Beware, who will be singing with Wisteria Hall.
You're in the wrong tune!
Hall of Famer. And Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Yeah. Tommy Rich, my good buddy Tommy Rich.
All right, if you didn't know, you're watching Long Island's #1 pro
Missy
wrestling
Hawkins' good
broadcast,
buddy,
Monte
Tommy
The Pharaoh.
Rich.
Catch us on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte The Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. Catch us on Channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 and Saturday at 11:30 against Saturday Night Live, and Channel 20 at 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
I personally want to thank Matty Ice for his diligence.
Matty!
And yes, and for
gets a
all
round
he's
of
done
applause.
for this show. We're going to miss you. Pharaoh, any final words?
No, Matt says goodbye first. Go ahead, Matty. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'll hit that club out.
So long.
What are you going to sing now?
No. Goodbye, everyone. This was truly an awesome journey to learn the show, to learn the guys, how they speak, and to just go along with all the different wrestlers to see them meet some people that they've been super excited and talked about for a long time. Some people they didn't expect to be so great and now are excited to see them again. It's just been a blast being here, seeing all the passion. So
I bet you'll never look at pro wrestling the same way again, huh?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Or ever.
No,
All
I think pro wrestling I'll see around. I'll be like, I know a thing or two about that.
You know a thing or
I would
two.
think you know.
Well, Matty,
you've met a few people.
It's been our honor, and we want to thank you so much for all you've done. Jeff, you're now manning the ship, so we're going to allow you to send us out and say something to the fans out there.
Take us out.
This is his job, not my job.
Oh, no, tonight it's your job.
It's my job.
Take them out.
Take us out.
You've been listening to Monte and the Pharaoh right here on Indie Music TV. And later.
We did it.
Yeah,
later.
Nice.